friends! Today I'm going to show you how to make rolled grape leaves exactly the way my family has been making them for generations. This recipe has been passed down in my Lebanese family for pretty much decades now, and it's always a special tradition that we do every summer because a lot of the ingredients grow right within my parents' backyard. So the first step in making our rolled grape leaves is going out and picking the grape leaves. You want to make sure that grape leaves are tender. The brighter green they are, the more tender they are. The darker green they are, the less tender they are. And you want to make sure they're about the size of your hand, maybe a little smaller. They could be a little bigger as well. You're going to make sure that they don't have any rips or holes in them. There can be little holes, but no big holes. For this batch, we gathered 2 bagfuls. Every time we pick the grape leaves, we kind of just eyeball how many we're picking. You want to pick more than you think you should need so that you don't have to worry about running out. The next part in the process is gathering some mint stalks for flavor and also some rhubarb as well. Some people, when they're making rolled grape leaves, they'll use lemon juice instead of rhubarb because rhubarb can be a little hard to find if you don't grow it yourself. But I prefer the rhubarb flavor. It has this really nice tangy flavor to it, and it doesn't have a lemony flavor. So it kind of does make a difference if you use rhubarb/lemon, but it all depends on what you can get. So then the next step is cutting all of these stems off of the leaves. You don't want those on there, so you're just gonna chop them all off. That can take some time, but it actually is kind of therapeutic. It's just a repetitive motion. It's just kind of nice. You also want to make sure that you get any bumps or little warts off of the leaves. And that can create little holes, but if you just cut it right where the wart is, it won't be a big deal if there's little holes in it. Once you chop all of the stems off of the leaves, you're going to put them in water to soak. This will make them a little bit more tender and wash them off as well. We tend to just put them right in the sink and put water in them, but you can also put them in a bowl to soak as well. You're going to pull all of the mint leaves off of the stalks. You're going to chop them up very finely. This is going to go in the meat mixture that you will see here in a second. The meat mixture is what goes inside of the rolled grape leaf. So for the meat mixture, we do about 3 servings worth of rolled grape leaves. So this makes a lot. So if you want to do a smaller batch, I would cut this recipe in half. So you're going to add the mint first, and then we do 3 pounds of beef. You can also use lamb if you want a richer flavor, but we tend to just use beef because my parents have their own cows and that is their own beef. So a lot of this is from their backyard, including the meat, which I think is really amazing, and I think it's really cool to do farm from table from the house where you grew up. Do 1.5 tablespoons salt. 3 dashes of allspice. I tend to go heavy on the allspice because I really like the flavor of it, and I like my food to be a little bit more flavorful. And then you're going to add 3 dashes of pepper. Next, you will add the rice, and we did 3 cups of rice for this. And this is uncooked rice. The rice will actually cook when you are cooking the rolled grape leaves. You're going to mix that all together, and you're not going to mix it too much because you don't want it to get too mushy. So mixing it for about 30 seconds, it's probably enough. So now we do the fun part of making the rolled grape leaves. This is my favorite part, is where we actually put the meat into the grape leaf and roll it up. It's kind of messy, so if you don't like touching meat with your hands, you won't like this. Usually I don't like it, but for this I do. To roll the grape leaves, you're going to want to place the grape leaves vein side up and then put a small log of the filling near the bottom, fold in the sides, and roll tightly towards the tip. You're going to want to make sure that you roll it really tight so it doesn't come apart while you're cooking it. It's always special making rolled grape leaves because it kind of connects me to my Lebanese family who came over to America from Lebanon with nothing but a bag and a trunk. They didn't have much, but they brought their traditions, their recipes, and the hopes for a better life. I wouldn't be here today without that, and every time I make these, I feel a little connection to them. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to meet them in my life, and I wasn't able to meet their daughter, who was my grandma, as well, but she passed on these recipes to my family. It makes me feel a little connected to her, even never having met her, knowing that she also made these the exact same way. Then once you have them rolled out, you're going to want to place each roll seam side down on the large pot, packing them snugly together, and then you'll continue until all the filling is gone. Once all your grape leaves are rolled up, you're going to want to put a bunch of large grape leaves over the top of them. This kind of weighs them down and keeps them in place.
Okay. I can show everything this way.
And then you'll chop up some rhubarb, throw that on the top of those grape leaves. And this will add a lot of flavor to the grape leaves and give it that tangy flavor. And then you'll also want to pour a bunch of salt over top of that to give the water some extra flavor and give the rolled grape leaves extra flavor. Then you'll fill the pot with water, and we tend to place a plate on top just to give it extra secureness that those grape leaves don't pop up and come apart, and keeps it weighed down. And once that pot's filled up, we put it on the stove, have it come to a boil, and then simmer for about 30 minutes. And once that's done, you can serve it with some tabbouleh. We also serve it with Lebanese bread, and you could also dip it into hummus, but I really like it just by itself. And yes, they don't look the most appetizing, but they are absolutely amazing, and I have to have them every summer. I hope you enjoyed learning how my family has made rolled grape leaves for generations. If you try this recipe, let me know, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please give it a like, and if you like our content, please subscribe. We'll see you new in the next one. Okay,